everyone, it's Pam again with Tattered Paper and Lace, and I am here for the letter I on the ABC April 2025 challenge by Seven Plaza and Crafty by Tony. And for letter I am going to do insert because I want to, for one. And so this is more of a craft along with me sort of thing. I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm doing. But if you will remember, for E, I did this envelope flippy flappy thingy. And so today I want to do an insert for the window of this. And then I have one other idea for an insert. So that's what we're going to do today. So I have taken this, which is a plain white miniature CD envelope. And this one I have taken it apart, and I've taken the window part of it out because this is my template, so I can make sure that what I'm making is going to be seen through this hole. What I have done to this already is inked it. I used my drywall tape. I used the backing of it to do stencils, and that's where the dots came from. And I also stamped on it. And then on the back, I just inked it with some stamping. And I did the lines with, I made these two corrugated cardboard, piece of corrugated cardboard attached to another piece of cardboard that's stiff. And then I decoupaged you can use Mod Podge, or I used matte medium on top of it to make it last longer. And then you can make these grungy lines just by putting ink on it and then stamping it down like you would have stamped. So that's what I did there. So that's that. So I want to make the piece that's going to go in here. This is not going to be, I'm not going to let it be accessible because this is so tight to get anything in and out of it. And so what I put in there is going to be permanently in there. It's just going to be for looks. And what I wanted to do, so we're going to set that aside. What I wanted to do is I had a couple of pieces of leftover things. Well, I had one leftover thing. Well, this is leftover too. I had this piece of paper, which is, I believe, from Tracy Fox. I believe it's from Tracy Fox. And so this is going to be my piece that I'm going to work on that's going to go then inside this envelope, just like that, but it'll slip inside that one. So I need to get this to the right size. And so that I'm going to do right now. So how I'm going to do this is I just folded this back up. I am going to, I want this corner to show through the window. So I'm just going to come in just a little bit from the edge. Let's get you something so you can see. A little bit from the edge so that I can get it slid in easily. And I'll mark it here to cut. And I'll mark it, let's get it over here. I'll mark it right here to cut, so that I have a little bit of wiggle room on my little desktop cutter right here. Now let's see if I can find the marks. Yep, there's one right there. There's one mark. It goes to right there. So I guess I'll cut it all the way off. And here is my other markers. That's hard to see on this where your marks are. The pencil is a little shiny, thank goodness. Otherwise, I'm not sure I'd be able to get that done. So there is my other mark. Okay. So that is some leftover pieces there for something else. And so that should fit in here without trouble. Yes, it does. Okay. So now I just need to make sure. So I'm going to stick it in here. Close this back up. There we go. And then we can proceed because I can push things in and out through the opening since it doesn't have the little glassine or acetate, whatever they use. But I had this, I just did one of the Marguerite Miller challenges that I am doing on restaurant coasters. If you've not seen that, you might want to go check that out. They're little 4x4 coasters. This is the first one I did. So if you're interested in that, that's in a whole playlist under MM Challenge. I have several years in there. So what I want to do is this is going to be very simple because this is a very small opening, so you really aren't going to be able to see a whole lot. So I think I don't want, well, no, that's a little too, I think I do want this to be like this. And like that, and this. I want the dance to show. I want you to be able to tell that it's a ticket. And I want this, as much of these little people in this, this is a school photo. So this is like maybe the principal and the teacher of the school, and this is just some of the students because this was a larger picture. I used some of it for the, and that's pretty much all I'm going to do for this insert. Very simple, very easy. This photo came from Reminisce or Good Old Days magazine, one of the two. I don't know for sure which one it came from. But those, if you see any of those magazines in a book sale or something like that, library sale or whatever, grab them because they are great sources for photos. I have 3 file folders for the different eras. I have a file folder that's the 40s and older, one that's for the 30s, one that's for the 50s and 60s, and then one for the 60s and beyond, or 70s and beyond. Okay, so that is where this is going. Just like, oh, I probably need to make sure I get this where I want it to be. I just need to put a little glue. Whoops, sorry, I don't have my line down here that I'm not supposed to cross. I'm just going to put a little bit of, and you can't even see that grunge, can you? Oh, well, it's okay. I could swap it around to where it's this at the bottom here. Let's try that. Or is that too late? Eek. Let's see. Might not be too late. Because then I can put it like this. Yeah, let's do that. Then I can see yeah, let's do that. Because then I can see a little bit more grunge at the bottom down here. Okay. I probably should go around this photo with some sort of ink. Also this I wanted to be pretty grungy. So we'll just get that grunged up a little bit. This is going to be quick. I am actually supposed to be leaving in about 30 minutes to go somewhere for the evening, so I don't have long. I was afraid I wasn't going to get this done at all because I just didn't think I was going to get done. So I'm glad that I am able to. This is a square envelope, so it does not matter if I get it exactly. Oh, I could drop that down a little bit, couldn't I? Yeah, let's put it like that. Let's put it like that. And we'll just get it glued down. Doesn't have to be glued down perfectly because it's not going to be removable. So it doesn't really matter whether it's glued down perfectly or not so much. But we'll just get it glued down a little bit. Then I'm going to do one more. Like I said, this is a craft along. So all of this was left over. Well, this is a Tim Holtz ticket piece. You could use any ticket. You can use any photo. If you don't have Tim Holtz, it's okay. Find any photo. And if it's a photo of multiple people, cut it up to the size you need for it to be. I just use it because I have it. And I am trying to use up all of those things. So now we're just going to slip this in here. Like this. Okay. See, this is hard to get something in and out of it. So I don't want to have to be slipping stuff in and out. So let's get this tucked right inside here. And make sure that we like how that looks. Okay, I'm going to pull it back out this way just a bit. And that's good. I like it just fine. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to push it back in because I don't want it to stick out past. I need to cut that off just a little bit, or either, let me see if I can get it back out, or either, because I don't know if you can see it, there's a little white line where that is showing. I can either trim that off a little bit more, or I can ink it. I think I'll just trim it off a little bit. Just a sliver. Okay, and this is going to go in the journal that it's going to go in like this. So the flap is here, so it's going to flap out like that. So it can go, still will be able to go on either side, whichever page I decide to put it on. I'm going to be making a journal that I'm hoping I'm going to use this in. So there we are. Yeah, I like it. That's good, quick and easy. Little simple little collage. No big deal. It doesn't take much to do little inserts and things. Now this little flap right here, I'm going to glue down, which is going to hold down that piece. Just put that just like that. And then I'm going to put glue along here to glue this shut, because I don't want it to open. And there we are. So we have that little insert for that. Can you see it? Is there enough light? I don't know. With the glare, it's kind of hard, but that is that little insert there. Now, I do need to do inserts for everything else, but all of them, for example, this one is not going to have anything else done to it, I don't think. It might, this bingo card, it might. It just slips right in, but I might do something else to it. This one, this flap, I'm going to close it down here and open it at the top so a tag can go in. I'm not doing an insert for that at the moment because I haven't decided what I want to do. Now, I think I do want to take walnut stain. And the nice thing about this is the Distress inks. You can get it off the glassine if you don't want it on there, or off the acetate if you don't want it on there. I just wanted that to be a little bit darker. I think I want this to be a little bit darker. So we're going to ink up that. So this is not really showing you anything new. This is just a kind of a craft along with me thing. And I should have done, I didn't think about it, although I liked what I did, and others seem to like what I did with the dryer sheets, but I could have done drywall tape. If you guys don't know about drywall tape, you need to know about drywall tape, because it is great for grungy textures and all that, and the backgrounds of things and all that. Okay, so that is that. I'm going to wipe off this window. Excuse me. This journal that I'm going to be doing is very grungy. But now I'm going to do another journal insert. And this is going to be, I'm going to sand this. It's another Tim Holtz piece. And I am going to sand that because this is a little shiny and I don't like that. So I'm going to sand it a little bit, just with this sanding block. I'm okay if it gets, you know, white in areas. It does not matter. That just adds to the grunge. Just want to get it a little bit. There we go. I'm going to do a little bit to the people. So I had chosen these Tim Holtz paper dolls here to go on that card. I didn't mean to bend his leg, but I did. So there you go. It'll be all right. I'll just ink it up a little bit. It doesn't matter. It's grungy. I don't really care. Okay, so let's move this out of the way. I thought I would use a bit of this right here for them to stand on. So I'm just going to cut this down to size. It's going to give it a little bit of thickness, so it's probably not going to go in my flippy flappy thingy, because this corrugated cardboard is going to give it a little thickness. And I think what else I am going to do, so I could pop them up because that's going to, or I have this piece of paper that looks like corrugated cardboard. And I could do that instead. I think I'll do that instead. That would be a lot simpler. I like to use the corrugated cardboard, but that would make that be a lot simpler. So I'm just follow kind of long. I don't have any more of this paper, the scrapbooking paper. I don't have any more of it. It's a shame, but I don't. I want it this way. I think just because of the shape of it. That way they're not, yeah, that's good. That way they are, that's going to give them something to be grounded with. And I probably wish I didn't do it quite that much. Let's cut that down just a little bit. That's close enough there. All right, let's cut. Whoops. Don't want to cut that yet because I don't have this in the right place. Just need to cut off that little bit right there. And I could do it this way. In which case I didn't want to cut that off straight. Yeah, I might like that. Excuse me, I'm still having coughing fits from being sick. No, I think I want it this way. And I'm going to cut it down a little bit more. Because that was a little more than I wanted. Uh-oh. Oh, well. I can put a little piece back over here. I got it too much. Well, doggies. Let's see. Put this little piece back. How did I cut that? I wanted it to go all the way across, and I didn't even take that into consideration when I tore that just now. But that's okay. That'll work just like that. Do a little glue along here. Then all I gotta do is tear that little piece off. Cut this piece straight. And that should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down. So again, I say, if you don't have any of the Tim Holtz products, oftentimes you can find photos at antique stores, not usually at thrift stores, but at antique stores, and you can cut out the people, especially if it's a portrait type. I've just recently have seen someone do that, and it turned out really cute. It absolutely was perfect. I don't care if that's all wrinkled and so forth and so on, because I'm saving that little piece because it looks like corrugated cardboard for something else. Okay, so we're going to put these guys down right here. Anything else I want to do? I might do some splatters. I think I want to cut this into a tag shape. Yeah, I do. So I don't like to fiddle with those little corners that people, you know, cut off and flip it over to do the other side. So I made me a template. And that's much easier for me to do that. So I just take that and cut that off, flip it over, make sure it's even top and bottom, and then cut that corner. That's my little corner template. And that's just a piece of plastic from a plastic placemat from Dollar Tree. So quick and easy. Okay. Now, do I want to do... I think I might want to do a little what's the word? Stencil with texture paste. I think I'm going to do that, so hold on. I am literally flying by the seat of my pants here. So bear with me, because I didn't exactly even know what I wanted to do, period. So I have a stencil in here somewhere. that, could do that, don't want to do that. Here's my stencil book. That I made. And I don't know where it is. Not that. I don't know. Hold on. It's hard for me to flip this. So I have this notebook that just has all my stencils in it. Oh, I could do this corner thing right here. That's too fancy. I don't want it to be that fancy. What did I do with that stencil that I had? That I made out of Tim Holtz die cut. And I did it on plastic. And it was here. And I am so not seeing it now. So what happened to it? I do not know. That's kind of sad. I don't know what happened to it. And it was, you know, it was a grungier diamonds, and it was diamond shapes and honeycomb shape, and I can probably get rid of those. I'm cleaning house too of some of these things that I have that I probably won't really ever use. So we'll have to go to something else because I can't find that. How about this? We could do this, which is kind of a burlappy looking. Or I could do this. Or I could do this and do dots. Or there's just so many things. I could just put a piece of this across here. Tear it. And, you know, cut it. Tear it. Like that. Put it up here. Like that. And would kind of give you the same idea. Why don't we do that? This is sticky. It will stick. So this is a peel and stick. And this is drywall tape. Also have another kind of drywall tape that's a mesh, sort of like these stencils are. Could have used that too. But that's not what was laying here. So that kind of gives you the same effect as texture paste would. So I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. That just gives it a little something, something. A little more of a something, something. And then I think I'm going to do black splatters. I don't have any of that mesh. I thought I did have some out here. Let's see. I thought I had a little piece of it in something. I have all kinds of little dishes and boxes and little things, all kinds of little things on my desk here that I put stuff in. Because, you know, that little stuff, you go, what? I want to get rid of it, but what am I going to do with it? Okay, we're going to leave that like that. I am going to punch a hole in the middle. I'm going to ink around. I'm going to do a little hole because I might do an eyelet in it. I'm not going to do the eyelet on camera, but I might do an eyelet. And let's see if any of, oh, I should have made sure one of these dots was in the center. That's close. Not exactly in the center, but sure is close. Which one was it? I need to mark it. Hold on. I need to mark it. It won't matter though, really. So that one's kind of in the center, right there. Not exact, I don't care. So I did that because I think I'm going to put an eyelet in there right there. And this is the size for the eyelets that I would use. Or maybe not. If I don't have little ones. I don't think I want a big one. Okay, so that is going to be there. I'm going to glue them on. Let me ink around them. I have a little tiny black ink that I just want to kind of put around it so that it's not white on the edge. Gives them a little more depth. And I'm running out of time, so I'm not going to do the splatters right now because I don't have really time. I should be walking out the door. But we are going to glue these guys on, and then I'm going to ink around the whole thing. So, you know, this has the background, and now my ink won't work. I'm going to glue won't work. This is the background with 3 other things added. That's all it takes, really. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be, you know, on and on and on and on. It can just be simple. And, you know, it's grunge it up if you want it grungy. If you don't, use pretty flowers and bright colors if you want. You know, just depending, but it doesn't take a whole lot of, well, let me say this. You don't have to do a whole lot of things to something to make it be different and make it look like you've done a little something to it. But it doesn't have to be a lot of something. There we go. And then I'm going to ink around that. And I might do other things. I still think I'd like to do the splatters. So I may still do that. But it can be a work in progress. Now I need some walnut stain for this, I think. Around the outside. Finish that up even a little bit more. I'll tell you the other thing I like to do, which I should have done before I inked, but I can go back and do it. I can go back and touch it up after I do this, is I like to take my corner rounder, and I have one that has 3 different sizes, and I like to use the very smallest one on these bottom corners. And the reason being is if they're rounded just a little bit, they slide in and out of the pocket just the tiniest bit better. And that is why I do that. Now, it'd be okay if you wanted to do bigger rounded corners. That's okay too. It really is just all about what you want, not what somebody else wants. Okay, so there we go. And get that cut off. I don't like that little bit hanging off right there. And there is there is the other insert. Little tag, and then a little collage for the opening of this window here. So that's what I had for today's inserts. This was really not a tutorial, not anything other than a, you know, a play along with me. And my little bit of a process for how I do some of these things. Some of them are more involved than others. Some I might put fabric on and lace on and that sort of thing. I did not want to do that on this. I may do it later. You will be seeing this again later because one of the other letters, which one? S. When we get to the S's, you will see this again because I'm going to do something to this. And I may have some of these other envelopes decorated by that time. May or may not. But anyway, so thank you for watching. This was just a process video, you know, craft along with me sort of thing. I appreciate you watching though and following my channel, hit the subscribe button, notification bell if you want to get further videos from me, and be sure to like this video if you liked this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.